What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to be bringing you a new Regulation G team. As you guys can see that we're going to be using a charjabug again. Charjabug, as you guys know who've been on the channel long enough, charjabug is legit my mascot at this point. Sure, I love Tojek to death, he's the face of Aeoscontrolesports, but charjabug has really been putting in a lot of work this year. And also, when it comes to this team, pretty much I want to explain the general strategy of what I was going for. So we got charjabug, we have Iron Hands on the team as well. Iron Hands is going to be really strong because essentially what I use is, since this is a really fast offensive team in a sense, Iron Hands is pretty much my answer to Trick Room Pokemon. We have Iron Valiant next. Iron Valiant is very strong. I've given it some really cool tech moves. It's my wide guard user for the team. This is my Terra captain right here. Believe it or not, my Terra captain is this Miraidon with the ice typing, which pairs really well with Ninetales here. Ninetales, as you know, has the ability Snore Warning. And what that's going to do is, once that happens, the whole team, for at least the Pokemon that I can use the Terrestrialize Ice, they're going to be able to get that nice 50% extra defense boost for being an ice type. So we have that. We have Sinistcha to kind of round this out because, believe it or not, this team is going to be extremely bulky. I plan to give everyone here a full breakdown of the team, how to use it, common leads that I go with and stuff like that. So before we get into that, all I ask is that you guys look down below, press that like button and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment today. Let me know what your favorite Pokemon is in Regulation G, stuff like that. You know, I've been working on this channel for a couple of months. I've been streaming every week, just all sorts of things. Also, I do have a Discord link in the description below, so be sure to check out Aeoscontrolesports over there. But let's go ahead and get into this full breakdown. Alright everybody, so this is the general team here. We have charjabug because charjabug's ability, Battery, what it does is it boosts the special attack of your ally. So we have Sinistcha, Ninetales, and Miraidon that are going to benefit from that ability itself. Ninetales is the secret glue to this entire team. The idea of Ninetales came to me because I saw Electric Seed as an item. So the idea is Electric Seed on Miraidon, boom, it's going to pop it. It's going to be able to hit the battlefield, and it's going to be able to get that defense boost from its ability. The engine, Hydron engine, am I saying it right? It's going to get the defense boost from the Electric Seed. So when Ninetales hits the field, I can go Terrestrialization Ice type with Miraidon, which is going to give Miraidon another 50% defense boost from the ice typing. Tack that on with Aurora Veil. And Miraidon, to me, like, what the idea of it is, it's going to be a Pokemon that's going to be able to stay there and take up a lot of damage. And we're going to be able to have Sinistcha come right out and heal it. See, normally in this meta, we have the weather wars of sun and rain. And so the ice typing, the fact that I can kind of swap in Ninetales, say my opponent already sent their Pelipper out or something like that, I'm able to take that weather away, and most of my team is going to immediately benefit from that, you know. So when it comes to the moveset, we got Ninetales with the move Encore. Encore is going to be very good. This is a max speed timid Ninetales. So the idea is we kind of lock down those support Pokemon like Clefairy and things of that nature, Weezing. We lock it down with Encore and our team's able to kind of move around. Iron Hands is really strong too because the Iron Hands has the Ice Punch move, and it also has the Ice Terror. So in a sense, if we didn't really need to offensively Terra Miraidon or defensively Terra it, we could use Iron Hands to kind of be a defense monster. So my Iron Hands, the way I trained it, it's max HP, max special defense with the Assault Vest. A lot of special defense there, so we're going to be able to soak up most hits. I think the Calyrex Shadow Rider, the Astral Barrage, is like a 2 or 3 hit KO. And we have the Iron Valiant. So the idea of the Iron Valiant was kind of like, Fairy Fighting is a pretty good offensive typing. So what I did is I threw Poison Jab on there. I've been seeing Whimsicott run around really rampantly. So the idea is we have Poison Jab as a sneak attack to kind of put pressure on any fairy type Pokemon the opponent may use. I've been seeing Clefairy real prominent right now with the Calyrex Shadow Riders. Close combat is going to be very important on this Pokemon. You want to have close combat for all the Incineroar running around. So We have Volt Switch on both Charjabug and Iron Hands, so normally we could get Iron Valiant out on the battlefield nice and safely even after the Intimidate, and we're able to proc massive damage with that close combat. And remember this too, the way I train this, it's a Jolly Nature, max attack, max speed, Iron Valiant, so we're gonna get the Quark Drive speed boost when that electric terrain's up, so that allows us to outspeed most Pokemon neutrally. So the idea is the Focus Shaft breaks after we do a bunch of massive damage with close combat, and we do a speed boosted Destiny Bond to kinda, let's say if I was in a scenario where I got hit with Astrobot, I can Destiny Bond and I can protect with the other Pokemon, and essentially I could take one with me, you know? So for those on the channel who be coming into the streams more often, you guys know that Charjabug puts in work every stream. We have Thunder Wave, we have manual electric terrain. Say Miraidon runs out of electric terrain, Charjabug is there, boom, turns the switch right back on. We have Thunder Wave on Charjabug because essentially, I used to go String Shot, but there's too many Defiant Pokemon running around, so the idea was we throw Thunder Wave on and we permanently cripple the offensive threats on the opponent's side. I know lots of special attackers running around right now. I gave Charjabug the move Struggle Bug. So Struggle Bug, it's a spread move and it's gonna work in a way to where I can break Sash, and I can also, you know, defensively add more bulk to my side of the field by lowering my opponent's special attack stat. That's going to be really useful against Pokemon like Kyogre, Calyrex Shadow, stuff like that. I know in this meta it's pretty uncommon to see Sinistcha running around, but I am a Sinistcha believer. My Sinistcha has Machagacha, which is going to be boosted by Charjabug's battery ability if Charjabug needed to be on the field there. Strength Sap. Strength Sap's OP. If you know, you know. Strength Sap's going to allow me to attack the opponent. Well, not really attack them, but it's going to allow me to hit the opponent and gain health back equal to their attack stat. So I can usually use my Terastallization with Aurora Veil up and essentially take in whatever Incineroar throws at me, whatever Urshifu throws at me, and just kind of heal that right up while also lowering their attack stat. Now we do have Life Dew. Life Dew is going to be so powerful because essentially what I do is I'll switch Sinistcha in. I never really lead with Sinistcha, but I switch Sinistcha in, and Miraidon, it probably got hit once or twice. Let's say I'm stacking Calm Minds. I'm going to be able to heal Miraidon and then top it right off with the Life Dew. It's really powerful. I have Rage Powder too because in a situation where I don't have to Terastallize Sinistcha, I can use Rage Powder and I can draw on my opponent's Thunderclaps or their close combats or even their fake outs. So Sinistcha's ghost typing works very, very well in this team, and it's just a good addition. Like, it's so good. And last but not least, let's talk about Miraidon. So Miraidon on this team, it's actually very interesting the way I designed this one. Miraidon is trained in only max HP and max special attack on this team. So understand that you're not going to be able to outspeed every little thing, but this thing can outspeed Pokemon like Urshifu, you know, your standard Pokemon like that. But when it comes to like a Fluttermane or a Zacian or something, you're going to kind of need Charjabug to assist you a little bit. But we lean more into the HP stat because we're going to be able to get all that bulk from being the ice typing. And what I like about this is you have your electric type stab, you have the boosted special attack stat from the ability Hydron Engine, and you also have the increased damage from electric moves from the electric terrain. So throw Charjabug on top of there, throw a nice delicious battery boost, it never stops. We literally get multiplier on top of multiplier on top of multiplier, and for the most part, with Charjabug on the field, even without a Calm Mind boost, for the most part, Miraidon is able to one-shot most Pokemon that don't resist the Electro Drift. The Ice-type Terastallization of Miraidon works more than just for defensive utility, it's also offensive pressure. Not a lot of Pokemon can resist or have an answer to both electricity and Ice-type moves, so it really pressures the opponent with that. We have Iron Hands and everything else to kind of do their own little weight pulling. Stuff like that. Like this team just connects. So we go back to the Charjabug boosting the special attackers. We go back to the Quark Drive Pokemon such as Iron Hands and Iron Valiant. And then we go to the Iron Hands having the Ice type, Miraidon having the Ice type, if we need to Terastallize either of those two. So you guys kind of see how everything kind of fits together. So I want to go ahead and showcase a battle and explain my thought process of how I was doing it. So you guys stick around for that. Alright everyone, so I'm going to try to walk you guys through this battle the best that I can. So they led Ogerpon and Zacian. So if you know anything about those two, they're the offensive force of VGC. And they're leading both of them, so right now they're exerting tons of pressure. But there it is, the Hadron engine going to turn on, and it's going to activate my electric seed. And it's also going to boost Iron Hands' attack with the Quark Drive boost. So right now we're in a pretty good position right here. You know, my opponent's kind of like, oh, a lot of stuff's going on. But we're taking advantage of our terrain, so I go right into it. I kind of debate on if I want to go straight offensive, but I kind of want to debate my opponent out a little bit. Now, when I was doing this battle, it was a tournament on Limitless, so ultimately I decided to go for the Electro Drift and the Fake Out Pressure there, because my opponent, they did terrestrialize this turn. Like, in this position, I really took my time, as you guys could see, because I had to make the best possible play. And this was only turn one, so I had to fully lock in. And, you know, Zacian, it can hit Miraidon super effective at play rough. So I was really debating on switching out into Ninetales and then Terra Ice. But then at the same time, Zacian can also hit me with the Intrepid Sword move. Or the Sword move, whatever it is, the Steel move. And I was kind of trying to play around that type of stuff there. So Iron Hands hits the Fake Out there. We do respectable damage because of the Quark Drive boost. And surprisingly, his Zacian goes for the Swords Dance. It goes for the Swords Dance. Ogerpon gets flinched. And then here comes the Electro Drift. Not battery boosted, but terrain boosted and special attack. And we do get a lucky critical hit right here. So right away, you guys see how offensive Miraidon can actually be. Miraidon just gonna completely nuke their restricted legendary right away. My opponent does switch into Chien Pao, and Chien Pao's Sword of Ruin ability is gonna weaken the defense of all Pokemon. So that's good news for my Iron Hands, because my Iron Hands is tanky enough, and that Quark Drive boosted attack is gonna be really devastating. So what we're gonna try to do here is we're gonna go for the Protect of the Miraidon, and my main goal was to kind of pivot out. So I wanted to hit the Volt Switch, pivot out, and ultimately bring Ninetales in nice and safe. The Ivy Cudgel going for the Miraidon, so like maybe my opponent was kind of on my shenanigans. This was the best of two battle. So there we go, we got the Volt Switch out. So now Iron Hand's just gonna come back to us safe and sound. So in this turn right here, even though I got Iron Hands back safely, I did think about bringing out Ninetales, but my opponent has so much offensive fire pressure, so I decided to go for Iron Valiant. And the play I do here is pretty crazy. So Iron Valiant's going to get the speed boost from the Quark Drive, and what we're going to do is we're going to Terra Ice, because I expect Chien Pao to hit me. So we're going to Electro Drift, Terra Ice, and with the Quark Drive boost, we're going to throw the Close Combat right into the Ogerpon. We're double focused into the Ogerpon just in case any shenanigans ensue. Maybe the Chien Pao wants to Sucker Punch or Protect or something like that. So we're just going to go all in. There goes the Terrestrialization. And here we go. We're going to just Close Combat, and we're going to smack that Ogerpon right up. Ogerpon going to fall. We're going to lose our defenses, but it doesn't matter because we're still full HP. So our Focus Sash remains intact. And even if it did get broken and we had suffered that defense drop, stacked with the Sword of Ruin, we have been able to do a beautiful Destiny Bond. And there's Miraidon going to soak up that hit right there. Here's the Electro Drift, maximum punishment into the opponent's Chien Pao. And it falls. It does have a Focus Sash like most Chien Pao do, so it is going to live to tell the tale for another turn. So my opponent revealed their last Pokemon, and their last Pokemon did turn out to be Urshifu. I believe it was Urshifu Water Style. So with that being said, I was kind of afraid for a second. I was like, you know what? Maybe he's going to be Choice Specs or Choice Scarf Close Combat. I was kind of pondering like, okay, what do I do? How do I play this? I mean, it was a crazy turn. Like when I play these types of battles, I really fully lock in. You know, each team I kind of have the recipe on how I want to play it. So like this turn I really had to do it because Miraidon, even though it has offensive pressure, it is weak to fighting type moves now. And Urshifu, it could just cut right through me. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should bring in Iron Hands, maybe fake out the Chien Pao, bring Ninetales to kind of stall it out. But ultimately my opponent does end the battle here because this team was too much pressure. It was too much pressure. And my opponent just canceled the battle during a tournament, which was crazy to me. But everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm kind of trying something new. I hope you guys enjoy this team. I'm going to have the rental code in the description below. Like I said, the invitation to my Discord server is always open. Make sure you guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And I ask that I see you guys in the next Aeoscontrolesports video. Take it easy, everybody.